The country is nearing a potential default on its debt if Congress and the president can't reach a deal to raise the debt limit. The Treasury Secretary says the X date is June 1st. So, how will a default impact you? Steve Lewitt with SGL Financial is here to talk about that. Why don't we begin with that basic question? What would happen if the government were to default on its debt?
Well, think of it this way. The government has this big credit card, and on this credit card is $31.4 trillion. And guess what? They overspent their credit card in January, so they can no longer borrow money to pay their bills. And what Janet Yellen said is that by June 1st, they'll be absolutely out of money. And what that means is that they can't pay their bills. They may be able to pay some Social Security or no Social Security, veteran payments, payments to government workers. You've got veteran payments. All these payments will either stop or be partially paid. And right now we've got a political football, or playing chicken, if you will, of the Republicans and Democrats, where the Republicans have approved an increase in the debt ceiling, but they've hooked on to that a cut in spending for the Democrats, which they don't want any part of. So this big meeting is going to happen with the Biden and the four political leaders on May 9th, and we'll see what comes out of that.
Steve, I think you mentioned one of the kind of biggest threats to everyday Americans, and that is the 66 million retirees who rely on their Social Security checks. What kind of impact could this have on getting those checks out? You mentioned they could be delayed. Could they be stopped altogether?
They could. So what the government is planning, because they went through this in 2011, when it really reached the end of the line. So they had all these plans of what would we do. And back then they said, well, we can only use the taxes we're getting currently to pay our bills because we can't borrow. And the problem with that is that we don't know how much tax revenue there is. In fact, tax revenue right now is down about 35%. So how long will this last? So what they will do is they will pay the interest on they'll pay all the debt on the treasuries that are out there. They don't want to default on that. And then they will prioritize, okay, should we pay Social Security? Should we pay government workers? Should we pay the military? So they might proportion across the board, or they might say, you know, people are living, 40% of Americans, that's their only income is Social Security. And they may prioritize that and say, we're going to pay this first. But we don't know. I'm not sure they know, but we certainly don't know what they will do.
You mentioned the debt ceiling standoff of 2011, and when that happened, I recall that really rattled the financial markets. What is the impact likely to be this time around?
Well, that's not a nice picture. It's not a good picture at all. Back in 2011, if you recall, the market dropped about 16% in 4 to 5 weeks. That's the impact it had. The U.S. rating was downgraded from AAA to AA+. What that means is there's a loss of confidence. That means interest rates on government treasuries went up. In other words, the government, in order to get money, had to borrow at higher rates, which increases the deficit. So we expect tremendous amount of market turmoil if this actually comes to pass. There are some forecasts that say the market could go down as much as a third. There are some forecasts that are saying unemployment could rise as much as 5%, 8%, which is about 7 million people unemployed. We have the Federal Reserve that continues to rise interest rates. They raised it today for the 10th time in a row, another 0.25%. So this is waters we have never been in. This has never happened. And so if it happens, as we get closer, we'll see more market volatility. If it actually happens, then we're going to see a little bit of chaos. If it's an extended happening, we could see a lot of chaos here, financially, and international chaos as well.
Steve Lewitt, thank you very much for showing us that this could have an impact well beyond Capitol Hill. Steve Lewitt with SGL Financial. Thanks again for joining us.
There's no good news there. I'm sorry.
All right. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.